Hello, everyone. Again, today is Thursday, August the 20th, and we have another episode of the Groovekart Challenge. Today, again, with the wonderful Christine Case. How are you, Christine?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you.
Awesome. And how are you, David?
I'm great. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Actually, today, unfortunately, Mrs. Donna Fox will not be able to join us. She has a lot of things to do today. So it's going to be just the three of us sharing the screen and with everybody out there. And I already see a couple of people saying hi. So hello, everybody. Darcy, David, and Brian. So hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you here. And we're about to get started with day 4 for the Groovekart Challenge version 2. And what we're going to do now is just let's just chat for a little bit. How's everybody doing? How are you, Christine?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited for getting this done, and I'm really happy.
Awesome. How about you, David?
No, I'm very, very good. Even Darcy Hall says David seems extra happy today. I'm nothing particularly happy. I'm just happy to be here doing the things. Also, I can see she says, John, happy to have good audio today.
Oh, well, I just have to disable everything. I'm kind of screaming out of my lungs because my mic is out of commission. So I unplugged it because 3 minutes ago, my internet was not working. Unfortunately, where I live, whenever the school season starts, since everybody's working from home and studying from home, my internet connection dies. So my apologies if there's any delays, but it was just another mini heart attack maybe 15 minutes ago when I couldn't connect. And I told my kids to stop working what you're doing. I need as much bandwidth as I can.
Stop learning. Don't learn anymore.
Stop learning for an hour and a half. In any case, well, guys, let's get started. Today, as I mentioned, we are going to have a cool episode because it's where a lot of people get stuck, and that is with the homepage creation. We at the support desk, we always get, how do I change things in my desktop? How do I change things in my homepage? A lot of people get confused. My desktop, my homepage, my dashboard. So it is the dashboard, it is the homepage. So we're going to learn the differences. So in a second here, before I make 2 questions to our audience today, who is with us for the first time, please raise your hand. Or, well, press 2. Who is for the first time here with us? Because I see a lot of familiar faces. And but I would like to know who is joining us for the first time so I can dedicate a couple of seconds to explain what we're doing today. Let's see how many 2s we get. Okay, couple of them only. What do I see? Brian, Analyse Mendes, welcome. Welcome to the Groovekart Challenge. And we're getting them. We have a little delay, so we do have a bunch of 2s now. So guys, welcome. What we're doing here today is we're continuing the process that we actually started maybe 9-10 weeks ago. We decided to create a challenge for our customers to start working on their own stores. So with that said, we started creating step-by-step process that every day, we actually every week, we worked in certain areas of the website and we make it work. Right now we're doing day 4, and today we're gonna do the homepage. The past 3 days, we have worked in selecting a domain name and working the inner systems for our Groovekart stores. So with that said, yes, Darcy, thank you so much. I noticed the delay that we're experiencing. Sometimes it's just funky. But yes, I just wrote a comment. I'm sorry, but yes, Sandra, Christina is definitely advertising today her jewelry. I love that. So you're gonna get, you see, and she's ready now. Look at that. BellaJamAccessories.com. So guys, this is your channel as well. So if you are participating enough, if you actually follow the challenge, you can win what we're doing with Christine, the experience to work one-on-one with us in order to make sure that your card is set up properly, is actually making something happen for you. So now I am going to show my screen. I'm going to share really quickly here the presentation of what we're going to do today. Allow me just here 1 second while I kind of put my screen here. Give me 30 seconds here. Format. And you know what? I do this every Thursday, and every Thursday I forget how to do this. But let me just do it the way that I usually do it really quickly and see if I can show this without any problem. And if you see me looking up, it's because I have my others monitor quite high in my. But let's just do this now. And please, everybody, let me know if they can see my screen. Awesome. I believe we are looking at our screen. So
yep, you can see it.
All right, cool. David, and if you want to stay in camera today, that's fine because Donna is not with us here, and I will certainly love your participation. So that will be great.
But I don't think that everybody wants to see me typing like this one all the time. So I'll just hide in the back. When you have a question, I'll just pop by, okay?
Awesome. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. And thanks, David. You know, we appreciate everything that you do. So, guys, and if you're new here, you maybe know David for all the great stuff that he does with GrooveFunnels. And him and I are going to be working in more exciting things for Groovekart as well really soon. So you're going to be seeing more from us, David and I. So with that said, let's just get to it. Right now we have formally entering day 2, homepage creation and menus. That is where we actually have encountered the most problems. A lot of our customers have stated, it's confusing, I don't know where to change things, and so many things that, of course, kind of prevent us to move forward. But that's why we're here. So today, we're going to be working with the homepage and the creation menus, which is where a lot of people actually get stuck. So, Christine, are you ready today? You excited?
I am.
Awesome. So what we're going to do now, let me just show you the slides that we're going to be working today. And then we're going to just, as always, going to start with the hands-on training. So let me just move to my slide number 2. And today, since, well, we kind of skip the news and announcements because Donna Fox is the one that does that. Unfortunately, she's not here with us today. She sends her regards. She actually had a lot of things to do today. And we kind of said, hey, you'll be missed because Donna is always missed every Thursday when she's not here. But we can actually accommodate and start working with what we need to do. And of course, we have Christine. Christine has been doing an awesome job with me on Thursdays for the past couple of sessions. And I know that she's going to just finish it up as strong as we started. And she's going to be really happy with the store. Last week, we did a bunch of products. And today, we're going to just start forming the store. We're going to start working on putting a face to the store. And the reason why I left the 4th day to the store creation is because we need to have some products. And that's what we did last week. And I'm just going to read a comment. Marvin Wester says, you are not as good looking as Donna. That is correct. Except maybe Christine. Christine and Donna are the pretty faces right now of the challenge. David and I, not so much, especially me today. I woke up early today because I forgot that my kids had to go to school. Didn't shave. Barely made myself out of bed, but made it today. So guys, with that said, let's just get to it. So today we're going to start with designing the homepage. We're going to work with the navigation and how to create links. And of course, with the setup. But first, let me introduce you to a friend of yours, which is the homepage. A lot of you, and I mean a lot of people that just recently got their Groovekart, they are seeing this when they actually logged in for the first time. They have the big header, the big slider, and just very few elements to the left of the screen. So those are your icons, which we kind of did a presentation for the past couple of sessions. But today we're going to transform the website. I mean, the homepage. We're going to change the header. We are going to change maybe some colors and add some stuff to kind of just make your homepage more functional. So let me just show you now slide number 4. If I can really do it really here from here. That is where you get your menus. It's very simple. And I'm just showing you in the slide, so in the recording, people will have a little bit of context. on where to find the menus, which is in the left navigation in those 3 huge dots that you see there to the left. But in a couple of seconds, we're going to go in and actually hands-on change the appearance of our website. Now, Christine, I believe you can you just type on any of your browser, please, firzone.com. And then if it actually replicates normally in your store, can you please let me know? Because we're going to access the store from there. Margaret, is my screen blurred, or is it in general? Maybe it's the connection, maybe it's my internet, as I mentioned earlier. But okay, awesome. And I think now Christine has controls on the desktop. And Christine, you are in the Fires. Oh, perfect. You are in your store. And can you do me a favor? Let's just open a second tab. And let's just go to firemanzone.groovekart.com. And while you do that, Rob Berzera asks, is this challenge being kept or in units or playlists? Just curious where to find weeks 1, 2, and 3. Actually, Rob, David is
So I could maybe answer that. I started typing already, but basically we keep all the trainings inside the Facebook group. After the live stream has ended, immediately it stays as a replay. We have a categorization, and the category of these trainings is Thursday Groovekart training. It is found under popular topics and posts. It is also going to be staying on YouTube, which is just searchable Groovekart challenge week 4, and also it is uploaded every week. It is uploaded inside the Groove Digital Academy under the Groovekart videos. So you have basically 3 places where you can watch the replays.
right. Thanks, David. And can everybody see me okay? Because I just lost signal in my computer.
Yes, we can see you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, just for some reason, I just got a blank screen in my computer there for a moment, and I kind of lost my connection. And it's one of those moments where I realized, well, something is not right. All right. So as you guys can see now, Christine is in her homepage. That is how it looks, but in a few minutes, it's going to look completely different. Maybe not so much, but we will learn the steps in how to change the look and feel. So now, Christine, I believe I also sent you earlier one of the images that we're going to use for the slider. Did you receive that image earlier by any chance?
I did not.
Don't tell me that.
Let me look. It might have been while I was on already. Let me look at my email again.
Maybe. I believe, yeah, I believe that's one of the emails. Yeah. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is let's go back to our dashboard, if you don't mind, please. Now, in order to change our homepage, we need to go to apps. And then let's just click on Visual Builder. So in order to get to anything that we need to do or change within Groovekart, it's going to be in Visual Builder. That is pretty much the tool that we actually facilitate for you guys to change every single element in the website. So if you scroll down, please, Christine, you're going to see that we have a couple of things there by default. We have one product and a couple of our conversion elements that we use sometimes in our home pages. But all these are going to be removed in a matter of minutes because we're going to just do a whole new website. We're going to do a whole new homepage for Christine Fireman Zone store. And for those who have actually been joining us for the first time, Christine's store is actually dedicated, is going to be dedicated to firefighters products, pretty much for their families, for themselves, and of course, for anybody that likes to, support certain causes for firefighting. So As you can see, the little logo that she has on top, that is a little firefighter kneeling down, right, Christine?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's just work with the slider. So how do we change the slider? So as you can see right now, Christine is right on top of the slider. And when she moves the mouse out, at the top corner of the slider, there is just 3 icons, a little cross, then the wheel, and then the trash can. So in order to change the image, or if you want to remove your slider, you just click the trash can, but we're not going to do it. We are going to just change the image. So let's just click on the little wheel, the little cog wheel that is there. Perfect. So once you click in there, you're going to see the slider is going to move away, and it's going to give you the settings as well as the style. The only thing that we want to do now is change a little bit the style and the settings. So first, let's just go with the settings. So click on the settings, Christine, if you don't mind, please. And now you're going to have 5 options: the slides, the slide settings, the title settings, the subtitle settings, and the link settings. That will allow us to do several things, but we're going to start with the slides. So if you don't mind, Christine, please click on slides. And that will show you the slides that you have in your screen right now. So if you only have one, we're going to change that image with one image that is more, let's say, not popular, but I would say more appropriate to the theme that you want to do in your store. So let's just click where it says New Slide. And then you're going to have a little addition there in that drop down that says Slide 2. So now, do you mind please clicking on the pencil? When you click on the pencil, it's actually to edit. What are you going to be? What are you going to put there? You're going to have your title, then your subtitle. But in this case, we're going to leave and just leave those black because we're going to just upload an image. So click where it says Upload an Image. And now here's the tricky part. What we're going to do is select the image that I sent you earlier, which you have right there, which is the fireman slider. That slider is 1904, which is 1,904 pixels wide by 550 pixels in height. So 1904 by 550. So David, if you don't mind, can you put a message with the dimensions so everybody can see them? 1904 by 550. In some cases, you can put 600, 700, depending on how big you want your header to look like. In some cases, if you want to portray certain different things, a lot of elements, a lot of products, you can do the bigger sizes as part of the height of your header. But the width, I would recommend to keep it as a 1904 or 1,904 pixels. Jesus, almost couldn't say that number. So now, Christine, can you do me a favor? Can you select the image? Right there, and then just press open or click open. And now let's just click update. Now, this happens a lot. People say, what happened? Why didn't it change? Why didn't it update? Well, the reason is because the system now has 2 slides. So we might not need the slide on top, so we're going to delete it. So can you please click on the little trash can on top? Perfect. Now that has changed. Now you have your new slider. And you see, maybe you see, oh, it's actually too big. I cannot see the whole text. It's too big. How do I accommodate this? Now that's where the slide settings come to play. So if you can click, please, on the slide settings right below it. Perfect. You see, you can accommodate the height. So it says 560, but let's just move it with the dial, maybe to have a lower height. Let's see how it looks like. You see, you can accommodate now the way that the picture will look like.
I need your consent on a few items to...
And that way you can decide, okay, I'm going to leave it at 100%. I'm going to leave it at whatever amount you feel convenient because of the responsiveness of the site. So I believe that is a good size. What do you think, Christine?
Did you say 412 was a good size?
Actually, between 412 to 450, I believe that was a good size, so you don't have a lot of dark spots in the sides. Or 425 even. I think 425, 420 will be a good measure. Perfect. I think that would be, yeah, you can just put perfect. Awesome. So it kind of conveys the reason and it kind of conveys the message. It's going to be a fireman zone. Of course, it's a fireman. And this is just an example, guys. By the way, we're working with Christine. We're helping her with the creative and certain aspects and as well as the products because, of course, she was the winner of the contest. And, of course, because that was our commitment. Because if you follow the process and at the end of this session, you send us your store to be analyzed and judged by Donna Fox and myself, if your store wins, you're going to be doing pretty much the same thing to improve your store. And that's what we're doing with Christine. Christine had another idea. She won a second store. So that's what we're doing today. And hopefully, everybody will get to experience this to a different extent, but maybe you or anybody else that is out there may want next time. So that's how you change the slider. Meaning in literally 10 minutes, we change an image. Somebody asked, where do I get the headers or sliders? There is many ways that you can get stock pictures for your stores. In some instances, you get places like Adobe Stock, freepik.com. There's many places that you can get free images. But one thing you have to make sure that the image that you actually add in your stores, you are authorized to use them. This image that Christine is actually using, I have a website that I actually purchase all the images, and I will highly recommend. It's called freepik.com, and you pay $9 a month, and you get as many images as you can for the sliders. Maybe if you have other products, so it's actually a very good place, and it's very affordable. Or you can make the images yourself using Canva or on Designer Tools. So there's many places that you can get. But now that we have the actual slider, which is part of what we need to do, let's just test that out. Christine, can you do me a favor? Can you please click Save on top? Remember, always remember to save your work. A lot of people have said, hey, I've been spending hours in my website, in my homepage, and I just accidentally closed the browser, and when I came back in, I didn't see anything. That's why you have to save your work all the time. So we need to make sure that you save your work. Now, let's test it out. Can you do me a favor, Christine? Can you click on the tab that you have open, the extra tab that you have, and let's take a look to see what happens once you refresh the page. Now it's starting to change. Now you'll see that, okay, fireman. So now we're getting somewhere. Now we have a more noticeable change. Like, okay, now we have a fireman. Perfect. It's like a welcome slide. But then in the next slide with a different image, we can start offering products. So, but that's how you change the actual slide. And we're going to change in a few minutes, maybe a couple of the colors, maybe adding more stuff within the actual homepage so you can start offering your products, which we're going to do that now. So let's just leave that page right there, Christine, and let's just move back to the back end or a visual tool. So now we have the slider. Let's just scroll down for a moment. And we have the deal of the day. If you want to show the deal of the day, that's completely fine with you. I mean, with all of us, it's great. You want to do a showcase of product, that's perfect. But we recommend that you can actually showcase, a good amount of your products. Not to put all the products in your homepage, because that would be a complete deal killer for a lot of people. I mean, when people have options, it's good. But when you have too many products that is slow down when your page is loading, That's a problem. We want to make sure that we put a good amount of products, but also balance it out. So what we're going to do, we're going to erase the deal of the day. How do we erase the deal of the day? Simple. We locate the actual tools that we have right there, and we click on the trash cans. So all of the elements can be removed by the click of the trash can. If you click there, I believe that will erase the title. Oh, actually erase everything because you just did it on the actual section header. So let's just click again. And if you want to delete the best deals as well, let's just delete that as well. And why not? Let's just clean it up. Let's delete that section as well. Not that one, not yet. But let's just scroll up a little bit. I think we left one in there. Can you just delete that? No, where it says no product selected? That is actually one of the elements that we need to maybe take a look at. Now, if you want, you can leave that one. But you know what? Let's delete it. Let's just delete it so we have a completely clean and empty homepage. I mean, right now we have that. If you click save, Christine, if you click perfect. If you click save, and now let's just go back to the other tab and take a look at how the page looks like. Right now, it will be just a simple slider. Can you refresh, please? That's it. That's your whole page right now. There's no elements. So let's add some elements, shall we? Now, let's just jump back to the dashboard. And one of the things that I always say, and I know that Donna will definitely agree with me, is you have to make sure that you engage your customer somehow. And you do that by showcasing your products. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into our elements right to the left. Click on elements. And then in elements, we're going to take a look where it says products and categories. And by the way, let me just stop here for a second and let's just go by every single element that we have. The elements are actually those little blocks of information that you can drag and drop into your canvas, into your visual builder, so your page can be built. In this case, you can add text, video, products, you can add photographs, you can add all the details, as well as all the tools that we have to create conversions and to generate conversions. So let's just create some products here. So we need a title. So we might need the text item. Can you just click where it says text? Right on top, perfect. And let's just create an H2 title and grab the H2 and drop it right in between, right under the slider. Perfect, right there. So that's gonna be your custom title. So let's just add as a title, let's just put t-shirts. Referring to the t-shirts that you actually want to sell in your store. Perfect. Now remember, while Christine does this, she's gonna put t-shirts, and remember to change the settings of the text, you can, as soon as you open this little tool, you'll see that you have two options. You have the little check mark to the right, and also on the top, right below, right above the header, you see that there's, you know, the typical editing options, meaning to bold the text, to center the text, to underline it. But in this case, we want to make sure that we center it. So we take a look at that icon right where you are for the text, and let's just click on it, and it will give us the options how to pretty much move the text. So let's just center it in this case. The one below, perfect. I think the one before last. Perfect. Now it's centered. Now let's just go and click. Don't forget the check mark. So once you click the check mark, that means that you have completed all your changes. This is where a lot of also our customers get a little bit confused. In order to change the text, you need to highlight the text area that you want to work with, click on the pencil to edit, and of course, do your text and do whatever you need to do with the text, and then click it again to make sure that those changes complete. Right after you have done that, Christine, what do we need to do in order for the page to keep the information?
Save.
There you go. So always save your work. I mean, it's always better to have the information saved, so you don't have any kind of accidents like, oh, my page is lost, I lost my content, things of that nature. So now we have the title. Now let's display some products. How do we display some products? Let's just go into products and categories, and you're gonna click where it says product list, and we're gonna drag that right under the t-shirt title. Now, it says no product selected. The way that we select the product is going where, Christine? Where do we edit the settings for an element? See if you remember.
I don't remember.
The little wheel. The little wheel is your best friend. So scroll down a little bit more, and there, perfect. You see product list. So in these settings, you have the product list settings, which allows you to show which products you want to display on that area. So let's just click on the drop down, and it will ask you what category you want to display. So let's just click t-shirts, because that's where we want to do first. So we're gonna say t-shirts, and then right below it we will have all the products under that category that we want to put in the front page. In this case, we only have one product in the t-shirts area. So let's just click on that. Let's just put a check mark on that little square. And what will happen is that the t-shirt that we have designed last week is going to show up. So you can do this process, and have in mind that when you have a lot of products in one category, all of those products are going to show in that drop down. So it's up to you to decide how many products you want to showcase in your front page, in your home page. So it's recommended to have anywhere between 4 to 8 if it's the same category, but if you have different categories, no more than 12 to 13 products. So, and usually in rows of 4s or 3s. That's the visual span of some people, and they some of the experts says that that's as much information the human brain can hold. They say that the human brain works better in 3. When you have 3 items to choose from, or that you want to make a selection, you always go in numbers of 3. So, sorry, I got distracted with a question. Yes, I believe it was Paulo. Yes, it's actually free PIK, just how David Lemon has it. Thank you, David. So all of your t-shirts will be displayed there, and we will be seeing this progress as much maybe next week when Christine has dedicated more time and put more products. So she forgot to do the homework, but it's okay. I know you were being focusing in the jewelry, so it's fine. I'll give you a whole class today. But for next week, we're gonna work together on more products, because we're on the way. Right now, the shopping cart will take form, will take shape. We're adding more products. So with that said, we have right now the category for t-shirts. Now, Christine, how about if we add a second category? What do you think? Should we just add maybe the mug that we designed, or maybe the other accessories? What do you think? Should we add just another more category?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. So don't forget to do one thing. What we have to do every time we make any changes?
Save.
There you go. So we have to save all the time. All the time. So now let's just repeat the process. Let's just go into our elements. Let's just get into the text to drop a title. And then let's just customize that title. Let's just add mugs. Why not? Now you can center that text as we did just a few minutes ago. And as you can see, guys, right now the process is way easier than it was with version 1, because we decided to make sure that every single step, it will be a little bit easier. So now we have mugs. Now we have the title. Let's just go to our product categories. Perfect. I mean, she's just moving right along. I'm just going to drop it down. Then don't forget, let's just click the little wheel. And once you click the wheel, you're going to see the options. Now, here's the situation. You see that right now it asks you for the last category. So if this happens, if by the way you notice that, hey, wait a minute, why they selected t-shirts already? What you do, you just click save and then reload the page. Let's just reload the page, Christine, please. What this will do, it actually just clears the little cache that is placed once we drop an element. Since we're repeating the element, that might happen. And if that doesn't happen, because I know our developers are working a solution for that, if that doesn't work, you can keep working normally. But if it does happen, you know the solution is just reload the page. So now you see now it doesn't show anything in our product list because it's not auto-selected with the category. So let's just click again product list settings. And with the product list settings, let's just select mugs as a category. And by the way, Christine, don't move over there for a second. Don't click it yet. Can you just click on the drop down again? By the way, guys, right there are all your categories. Any categories that you create for your products, even if you do it manually or if you bring products from Printful, from Dropify, from Slingly, from Tscape or Layer App, all of your categories will appear here. So it's very important that we realize that we're going to have a lot of categories. So we have to be very careful with which items we want to put in our front page. So in this case, we're going to leave maybe 2 or 3 categories. So Christine, let's click mugs. And now as a second step, let's just click product display. So we can display some of the products. Right below it, perfect. Actually, I'm lying. It's product display settings right on top. The very top option, product list settings.
Okay, this one?
Right there. Yeah, that one. Because you select first the category, and you see right below it says product display settings. Did it change? It should give me what products do I want. Oh, do we have products in mugs? Let's take a look, shall we? So this happens a lot. And I did this for a reason, because maybe mugs don't have a category. You might have a lot of products, but you don't have the categories set for those specific products. So in this case, Christine, let's just save. And now what we're going to do is right-click where it says Admin Panel. Right to the top right. Just right-click it and open in a new window. Or in a new tab, I'm sorry. Or window is fine. You already did it. It's fine. So right now we're loading our dashboard again. But I left the editor open so we can just easily come back to it. I think the secret sometimes is just to maintain what you need, the tools in hand, so you can actually work. So now in this case, the issue that we're having is, I don't know if my product is in the right category. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on products. In products, you're going to see my products, find products, categories, and discounts. So we're going to go to categories. We're going to categories because we need to see if, in fact, the mug category is created. So it is. So we have a mugs category, which is ID number 28. We also have t-shirts and we have accessories and also best deals. So the category is created. Let's say in the case that we have a product that we want to showcase, but we don't have a category for it, we can click where it says add new category and add the category however we want to name it. But in this case, since the categories exist, so let's just go back to products and take a look at what product is not having that category. So you can click on products again. right in the same icon, perfect. And now let's just click My Products. Now the products are going to load in a second, and what you will see is we're going to look at where the mug is, which is right there in the middle. It's product number 9. And if you guys see closely where it says category, it says home. So it's not selected for the mug category. How do we change that? The fastest way to change the category is by clicking on the box next to the 9, which is the product ID to the left. And then where it says actions, if you can click on the button right there, then you're going to have a bunch of options like activate, deactivate, duplicate, delete, change category, change product layout, or change upset layout. Since we're having a problem here, we just need to change the category. So let's click the option change category. And it's going to ask us what category you want. So, Christine, we want what category?
Mugs.
And which default category should be?
Mugs.
Mugs. Perfect. So let's click in both of the options there and then click Save. What the system will do now is have that product go into the categories folder. Speaking the mugs as a category, so it's going to make sure that next time we reference that product, it's going to be under the mugs category, as you can see right there. So since we're here and we're going to be working with categories, why not change that product? We also did a laptop sleeve last week, very nice product. So let's change the category and add it to accessories. And I'm going to leave you, Christine, to actually make that change. So if you don't mind explaining to the audience what you're doing.
Okay, I'm choosing the firefighter laptop sleeve because it says home and I need to change it. I click
Correct.
on actions, then I'll click on change category, choose accessories, make sure that both of them are clicked,
Correct.
and then save, and then it will automatically change it for me.
Correct. It's as simple as that. So now, if we were having some issues with not finding products in for our categories, now we have resolved that. Now we know how to change the categories. So with that said, let's just close that window, because I don't think we're going to come back to the products for a moment. So we can close that window. And now let's just go back to our editor, and on where it says mugs, under it, since you dropped already the element that actually lists the products, let's click the wheel again. This time, product list settings, choose a category, mugs. Let's just redo it again. Let's just choose mugs. And then product display settings. Now, you see what happened, right? The product did not came up. So let's just do something to make sure that the product comes up. Do me a favor, Christine, click reload. And I think that's where you were going, just to click reload. So because we just made the change in a different window, but in the same session. So if we get stuck, our best buddy ever will be the reload button, right until we come out with the undo button, which is coming soon. So now let's just go back to the mugs. Let's just take a look at the product selection. Let's click. Now let's just go to settings, product list settings, pick a category, which will be mugs. And guess what happened?
It's there.
Show you the product. So remember, if you get stuck at some point dealing with the categories or the drop downs, always save and always reload. Why? Because we're working with interactive products at all times that you might have just created a moment ago, but you might not see them in the system because it takes a little bit of time. So let's just click save. And let's test that out. Let's just see the other tab that you have open. Perfect. Now let's just refresh. And we have t-shirts, and now we have mugs. So right now, as you guys can see, now it's looking more of a homepage. Now it's just not two big products with two big text, but we have now some products. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to have in our homepage, or products, what we're selling. So I think for categories and products, we're gonna just leave it like there. Now it's looking very good. And do me a favor, Christine, can you click on the mug for a moment? Let me just check that we have selected the right. Yeah, it's actually the correct one. Perfect, because it has the variants, it has everything, and we actually saw that last week when we created the variants, the color, sizes, and so forth for the products. So if you guys are interested in following the process, we do have the recording, so you can check weeks 1, 2, and 3, or the whole past challenge, the one we did Donna Fox's store. So now do me a favor, let's just click back to the editor. Because now we're gonna do something else that a lot of people have a lot of fun, which is the menu, the navigation. How do I change my navigation? How do I change the way that people can see my website? How do I see the different pages? So the way that we change that is not actually in that header. A lot of people have moved that header and they're erasing the some of the links, which is not right. But the right way to do it is working directly from the menus. And where we work with the menus is in the menu selector, right there. You'll see a menu title. Click on the menu title. And that's how you know you're in the menus. This is what you have. And if you take a look at that, it says home, best deals, contact us, guest tracking. And if you take a look at the right of your screen, right in the middle, maybe, it says home, best deals, contact us, and guest tracking. That's how the structure works. You're gonna have 5 or 6, maybe 7 items that you can actually put there in this specific theme. In some of the themes, you can actually add a little bit more of the actual options or navigation items. But for this case, we are going to remove best deals and guest tracking, and we're gonna add 2 new categories. But before we start doing it, we gotta understand how the process works. So that's the menu. And as you can see, there's a button, a huge blue button that says new element. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add a new element. So once Christine clicks on new element, you see right there that it says new menu. Right, Christine? It was actually added right to the end. So
right.
Let's click in that element. And once you click, you will see the options. Where do you want this navigation item to go to? We want it to go to a very specific category. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just type as a label, let's just type t-shirts or tees, maybe t-shirts will be fine. T-shirts, the way that you have it for consistency. Not please. Perfect. Now we do want to have all our links in the same window. Only when we're working with external items. Let's say you want to display something externally, your blog, maybe a different page, maybe a landing page that you have created with GrooveFunnels. You want to keep everything under the same window, except in those cases that you want to showcase something else. Now, the link type. The link type, if you click, it will give you 4 options. It will give you a product, a category, a custom page, or a CMS. The CMS is a content management system page, which I'll show you in a second. But for now, since we're dealing with categories, let's just click on the category option and select the category. In this case, let's just click on accessories. I'm sorry, on tees. I'm sorry. T-shirt, perfect. Now let's click update. And what will happen now is that button that we just added is going to be added to the navigation. And when you click t-shirts, it's going to take you directly to the t-shirts category. And you see it was actually added there. Now, but we mentioned that we needed to remove one of those items. How do we remove the item? So let's pick the one that we mentioned that we don't want, which is guest tracking. Let's click on that button. Perfect. And now all that we have to do is click remove. That's it. Just to remember a navigation item, just click remove. Now you see that you have home, best deals, contact us, and t-shirts. But you know what? I want to push the accessories category. Why not? Let's just add a new element. Now let's see, Christine, if you can create a menu item for the accessories category.
Okay, we keep it in the same window. Then we click category, select what category, and it's accessories, update, and there we have it.
And something that I need to mention here, that since this is something that works directly with the database in their store, there is no need to save the items because the items are controlled within the actual little element. So in this case, as you can see, the button for saving didn't work. Only when you're adding elements to the canvas, to a working area, that's when you need to click the save. Now, let's just test it, Christine. Let's just take a look at how the page is looking in the other tab. Now, let's just click home, or maybe click back. I think it's easier if you click back. Can you click back? Yeah. I knew that was going to happen. We're going to fix it right now. And I'm glad it happened live, because I know that a lot of people might be facing that same problem. So you see that just now, Christine is working on the menus. But when she clicked home, it took it to a whole different page. So Christine, what do you think we have to do?
I don't know.
We need to change the item on the navigation. So let's go back to the navigation in our visual editor, by the way. So you see our home button was the one that gave us a little trouble. So let's click on the home button. And as you can see, it says same window, custom, but then it's actually create link. It's a custom link. Something happened there. So let's pretend that it was a mistake. So what we need to do is change that custom link. The way that we're going to do it is just adding our store name. So we're going to erase everything there. Christine, please. Let's just erase everything. And this is the perfect example of a custom domain. So we can actually work it with https://www. And I believe your domain name was firemenzone.com, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And now let's click update. And now let's take a look at it. Let's just check on the other tab and let's see if you refresh the page, where does that button from home will take us? What happened? Maybe we didn't type it right? Let's check it. So let's go back and let's just click home. And it is HTTPS. Oh, forgot the backslash, if I'm correct.
Yes.
All right, let's just click update. Let's see what happens. It says that it has updated correctly. Let's just refresh again. Can you just... Okay. Why is it not going? What do you think is that happening?
I typed in something wrong.
Let's check it out again.
It probably is. Okay, let's figure this out.
Exactly. So same window, custom. Let's take a look. HTTPS, colon. Anybody in the audience will dare to see or to check what exactly is going on? Anybody can think of the element? Now let's check it again. Let's just... Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Now it's time for me to go.
So I know what the issue is. Go into the other page where you got the 404 message and have a look in the address bar. It says, what does it say? .com
Fireman
/www again.com. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this how it should be?
Yeah, firemanzone.com.
Shouldn't be only one.
Correct. If you type firemanzone.com, we will go to the homepage, Christine. So let's see what happened there. Can you type firemanzone.com? Now let's click home. Let's see why we're keeping getting that error. Let's see if it just gives us an empty page again.
Yeah.
So for some reason, is adding maybe a couple of items there at the end.
Yeah, so that is the issue there, because it gives on
It's
again
repeating.
the address.
Correct. Is repeating the actual address. So let's just go back to the editor. And before you do that, Christine, do me a favor. Go back to the one, and this is kind of a little hack. So let's just go back to the other tab for a moment. Now let's just type in firemanzone.com, or you can erase that last HTTP that you see there. Perfect. You can just hit enter. And now, guys, this is one of the things that I always recommend. If you're working on your store and something like this happens, check 2 times, but then at the third one, type in the address. And Terry Smith is up to something. You see, she needs to type HTTPS, and then the colon and the site. So if that becomes a little challenge, let's just copy that URL. So it's like just copy the URL, copy, and then go back to the editor. And since it's a custom link, just delete all that information that you have there, and then just click paste or Control V. Now click update. Now let's check the page. Let's go back to the actual editor. I mean, to the actual page. And let's just click home. And voila. So when you guys have any challenges, remember, it's just about exploring what the actual problem is. Sometimes we get frustrated, so we know that we can actually fix them. And using a little hacks, it's just get one of those things and make sure that we actually can copy paste. And that will save us a lot of time. So now let's just do a little break here, because I think, David, we do have a couple of questions. So let's just see.
So could this be the issue that basically Darcy Hall says it's column / / instead of / / column?
Yep, that's why I actually had Christine copy that the URL. Sometimes we get confused, and I wanted to have, I kind of detected it even though I saw it very small. And I'm glad that a lot of people saw that, because these are the kind of mistakes that unfortunately when we're working, we get easily frustrated with. because, oh, my link is not working. So what happened? So that's why I can explore it. And I love that our audience is participating because we actually found the error. It's right here. That's why at the end, for the resolution, the little hack of copy just the URL and paste it into the custom URL in your editor, save the day. So now we have completed our navigation for now. And as you can see, now the site is working fine, right, Christine? So everything looks fine on the navigator, on the navigation?
Yep, looks good.
Awesome. So let's just refresh it again. And thank you, guys. I sincerely appreciate all of us. I mean, all of you that actually just said, hey, the double S, the little slash, because those are the common mistakes that we all do. I mean, I do them all the time. So it was good that we all participated and we detected it. Hey, this is the reason why. So now, as you can see, if you scroll down a little bit, Christine, now you have a more customized site. Now we have changed only a few things. We changed the header, we changed a couple of products, and you can add as much product as you want in the front page. But now let's just do a little bit more, because a lot of people, they need to create some documents for their legal documents, privacy policies, and all that stuff. So right after the little break that we're going to take, because I'm going to answer another couple of questions, then we're going to edit the navigation in the footer, which is a little bit different to edit, but it's pretty much the same concept. And we're also going to create an extra page. So, David, do we have any other questions at this juncture?
So there was one that I didn't know the answer to. So there's Chris Pang is asking, I don't get the email list from who input from newsletter subscribe on the footer. What can I do?
I'm sorry, my phone unfortunately was beeping when you
So
were asking.
basically, he doesn't get the people the email from the people that type in their email addresses to the newsletter bar in the footer. So what can he do?
All right, that usually goes to the contacts, or if it's not, connected to, let's say, MailChimp or any other email capture program, then it will go nowhere. So best way to do it is set it up with our MailChimp, or it's coming soon with our GrooveMail. But whoever asked that question, thank you for that, because that's a point that we're going to be touching base when we do, I believe it's day 5th. I believe it's next week, if not day 6, which is the additional elements that we can use in our homepage and for our marketing, which is the newsletter, the Facebook, all that stuff. So stay tuned. But if you want a faster answer, not wait until the next session for next Thursday, you can send us an email to support@groovedigital.com, and I'll be more than glad to send you a couple of videos or show you how to put it in your Groovekart. And let's see, any other question, any other comments? Let's see. Let's take a look.
The same person, he wants to actually send emails to himself with the SKU number. Is that possible to set up, and how? I went into the email section, but I don't see one of the custom code for the SKU. We can send out the name of the product and the price and the things, but I didn't see for the SKU. So maybe you know about this?
I do believe that once an order is placed, the SKU is connected to the product. So I believe the email that you received, as well as your customer received, should have the SKU, but I will definitely need to investigate a little bit more on the specific store and where are the products coming from. Because depending on what provider you're using, let's say you're using Printful or Layer App, they all use different SKUs. Some of them might not use the SKU, but another reference. So I will definitely take a look closely and with that specific store.
Yeah, but that's it for now. I'll be scouting the questions for the end.
Perfect. Yeah. And awesome. That's great. So not a lot of questions, but if you have more, we're gonna maybe stop in a couple of minutes once we kind of just finish the basic page setup here, because it's very basic. Because you can see, guys, in less than an hour, we have added a graphic, we have changed our menus, we have connected products, And now we're about just to add a little bit more elements to the homepage to start making it look, more into our business. Right now, what we're doing with Christine is giving her the right push to, promote her product for the Fireman's Own store. So, by the way, for those who are here for the first time, Christine selected the Fireman's store because her husband is a firefighter. So they're both together working in the store, and they're going to be working on the product design and the product creation, and just put it as as another side element for her success besides her jewelry, which you can all see behind. So go visit and purchase something. It's I'll give you a couple of minutes at the end, Christine, so you can showcase your all of your empire when it comes to the shopping carts and the stuff that you're doing. So it's awesome. So thank you, Joe. He says, love the fireman image. Yes, it was actually from freepik.com. Get it there. It ends with a K, Freepik. And David, I believe he put the link, so you can actually search for all those images there. They have, I believe it's 11 million images. Very affordable for all of us that need some content sometimes. So moving along, since we have maybe 20 minutes, I would like to take 10 for QA for any other questions. Let's just edit a little bit the footer. Let's just touch all the way down, Christine, if you don't mind. Let's just add a couple of things of the footer that you can make a little bit of an impact. And the footer is usually the part of the website that a lot of people don't even see. But it's important because there you can actually provide vital information. For example, you have other set of links down there to the left. In quick links, you see best deals, contact us, privacy policy, and so forth. In the middle, you have a little text that you might want to add or edit. And of course, you also have your logos if you want to add any other logo. How do we edit the actual footer? So we need to actually click right in the middle where it says click here to edit the layout. So let's click on edit layout. And as you can see now, everything else is grayed out. You cannot do anything else anywhere in the side. So right now you're just working with the actual footer. So let's work with the footer. So I think that in every single site, if you want to just leave a message of what your site is all about, you probably can do so. So right in the middle, in the center of that footer, Christine, let's just change a little bit the text and put something in regards to your website. Why do we need to put something in regards of the website? SEO. It will be anywhere around 255 words, maybe less words, but 255, 300 is recommended. But something is small, something that actually makes reference to the Fireman's Zone. What is the mission? Why the site is all about? We don't need to have that, but I think for SEO purposes, it's always good to have a reference. So when when the search engines and the spider bots are just walking the web, if they pick that up, that will also help you for your SEO, optimization and gathering details from your account. So, what do you think should be a good description for your site, Christine? Let's see those creative inspiration. What do you think it will be a good reason why people should buy from Fireman's Zone, or a little message that you want to convey to your visitors?
Okay, so I gotta get my thinking cap on. Maybe some people can help me with this.
All right, yeah, how about that? Let's just do that. Let's see, because I know last week somebody helped us with the product description, and I did a phenomenal job. So how about if somebody can give us a hand, and let's just provide some context on the matter. This website is dedicated to firemen, firefighters, their families, and we want to make sure that we have a bright message, something to convey the respect that we feel for firemen, the love that we feel for them, and what they do for us every day. So anybody would like to take a stab at it? who said yes. David, be on the lookout to see who said yes and who's willing to actually help Christine on that. And I see David smiling, so I think we have a candidate right now. Do we? Do we, David? Nope, not yet. Anybody? Any takers? Let's see. Okay.
You know, there's this delay between when you ask the question and then when you get the answers, it's just like, come on, guys, I'm waiting for your answer, please. It's like
just always, I always forget that we have, I believe it's a 3 to 4 second delay with this system. So I'm always getting so excited and then just not getting response for 3 or 4 seconds. He's like,
yeah, I know. I do the same sometimes.
Now, Scott Kane asked, a portion of proceeds will be given to support the Firefighter Association of America or something. Well, that is a territory that only the site owner will decide. I think it's a great option to put a charity involvement at some point because it will help you with certain things. But it will be completely up to you guys because it not only applies for firefighters or policemen or first responders, it will apply to anything. If you have a pet store, if you have something that actually might want to convey involvement with the charity, you got to make sure that you do it. I mean, one of the things that a lot of people forget when they have an e-store is an e-commerce store. If you mention a charity, if that charity find out that you're using their name and not delivering what you are promising, they're going to get after you because you're using their name. So let's be really careful, guys, when it comes to offering something that if we said, oh, we're going to 10% of our profits are going to, in this case, the Firefighters Association of America, let's just make sure that we contact them and we'll say, hey, I have this website because my ex-husband was a firefighter and we feel strongly by giving you this. But be completely transparent with what you offer. So that's very important. And a little parenthesis here. David, can you do me a favor? Elliot Braham just asked if you can put the URL where the pictures are. Can you just add the URL for freepik.com, if you don't mind? Thank you. Well, Christine is actually thinking very, very hard what to put there. So, in support to all the firefighters that give unconditionally every day. I think those 2 lines are perfect, Christine. I think that it conveys a message, but I know we can work on it. And I know that if we put a couple of our months together, I will definitely talk to Donna Fox to reach out to our content masters, and they will help us definitely to get you to where it needs to be. But it's important that we do have a small description. Now that we changed the little message, Christine, what do we have to do?
Always save.
There you go. So we definitely have to save our layout. Oh, you see what happened, right?
Yes.
You forgot to click the little check mark. It's okay. We all know. Sometimes it's just, we learn by doing. That's why we're doing this. Michael's, well, you do that again, Christine, sorry. Michael Saville asked, you talk about spider bots. Are these sites indexed through GrooveCell to Google? Actually, they're indexed through Groovekart. It's a whole different system, Michael. GrooveCell, Groove Pages are indexed differently than Groovekart. Groovekart is a platform for e-commerce, so that we have different, of course, different indexing methods because Groove Pages only involve with pages. GrooveCell actually is just part of GrooveFunnels, but we don't really index GrooveCell. We index Groove Pages. So that's the main difference. And yes, most of the stores do have the capability to be indexed by Google, Yahoo, and all of the search engines. And we do have internal settings, which we actually touch base on day 2, if I'm correct. So you can definitely take a look at day 2 or day 3, I believe, when we talk about a little bit of SEO. No worries, Michael. We're here for you guys. Also, Lena, thank you. I hope you got the actual link. Now, let's see. Don't forget to check on that mark and click Save. And since those 2 lines are now created, perfect. Now, let's just deal with the quick links. You see on the quick links, and this is for the bottom footer. So quick deals, best deals, quick links. We can actually just change all that by clicking the little wheel. So let's click on the wheel, because that is actually is the other one, Christine, I'm sorry, that's the title. So let's just click that one. The list, that is a list of items. So where do you change those items? Right on the list element. So if you don't mind, click where it says list element. As you can see, you have the option to change the text. So let's change the text on best deals, and let's just put home. Where do we change that? In the pencil. So now let's just click where it says best deals for home. And now in the same window, we're going to leave the same thing. We're going to change, because now it's no longer a category. If it's home, is a custom link, right? So let's click category. Let's just click custom. And then I believe in your memory, it must be the last link that you copied. So let's see if we still have that. Can you just paste? Let's see. Lucky me. Perfect. So it is the link. So let's just click update. Now, once we click update, what we need to do, click
Save.
There you go. So now we're going to click save. Now it's going to have, and that's pretty much how you can change all those links, by going into the list and change accordingly. If you want to add more pages, you can actually add the pages as needed. You can add the links, but that's how pretty much you change the footer. Now you can add elements in the footer. So let's say you want to completely destroy that footer. You have all the elements to the left available for you. So you can add video, you can add an image, you can be as creative as you can with the footer as well, because it's independent elements. Now, how do we get out of it? A lot of people are saying, I'm stuck here because I don't know where to click. I don't have any other option. Where do we go to actually just come back to the main page? The way that we make our way back is by clicking pages. So let's just click on the icon of pages on the left navigation. And now let's just click on homepage, and we go to the little box with the arrow with it, the arrow through it. So you can click there. And now the homepage just came back. Now let's just do something, Christine. Let's just check the page. Let's see if the footer actually updated the way that we want it. And let's just check it in the other tab that you have open. Let's just refresh. And if you scroll down, let's just click home. Let's see if it takes us to where we need to go. And it actually updated the actual text. So right now, it's taking us to where it needs to go. So as you can see, it's very simple to change the elements. We did very basic changes here, but explore the tool, guys. I think it's important for us to explore the tools we have. We're going to have, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to have a ton of videos for this new version. This new version was actually released maybe a month and a half, close to 2 months. So our great marketing department and education department is working on the videos, and we're going to be creating more. Just as David works every day so hard with group pages, where he's going to help us out with Groovekart, and we're going to make a lot of very interesting videos so you guys can do this at home at any time, not only on Thursday with us. Now, how do we put our own domain to our store? Mr. Great 42. So Mr. Great 42, there is actually a couple of things that I'm going to be doing right now, which is going to go into our QA. So Christine, thank you very much for sharing your screen with us today. It was awesome. We're on our way. We're actually just now building the fireman zone. Hopefully the image that we selected for you is something that you wanted to see. We're going to talk more this week. We're going to start polishing the store, because we have in the upcoming weeks, we're going to be talking way more things, adding more products, adding then the pixel functions for Facebook, the analytics, all these interesting stuff that we can actually work with our Groovekart stores. So if you don't mind, let me have control again of the screen so I can actually now proceed with the actual Q&A. So we talk about editing the navigation menu, editing the page. We did set up the slider, the category, list and products, some of the features, the navigation, and additional features from the homepage, which in this case, we added 2 categories. So now let's just do some QA. And I would like to start with, how do we put the on domain to our store? Mr. Great, actually in the settings, and let me just open a new window here, and it will actually have to be one of my stores, if you allow me 1 second. So we can actually, I'll show you exactly where you can add that. Let me just do this right now.
And while you're doing that, I want to thank whoever Facebook user is for that. The firefighter zone is dedicated to our first responder firefighters who serve our communities and keep them safe. So thank you very much. I will definitely use part of that.
Awesome. You see, that's why we have a great community. Yes. And that's why we encourage everyone to help each other, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, to help each other. Now, just give me a second. Let me just access my store really quickly here. If I can remember my password, will be great. And in a couple of seconds, I can show Mr. Great 42 where you change your domain. So give me just 1 second, and I'll be able to do that for you. So I'm accessing my store, which is tijuana.com. I sell T-shirts. Well, hopefully I'm going to finish it at some point in the next 3 years. So I will show you in a moment where you can change your domain. It's still loading. Remember, my internet connection is kind of sucky today. And it's taking way longer, but I need to access the store so I can show you exactly where to change that. Why is it taking this long? Give me just 1 second. Let me see why. Oh, okay, it's processing the request just now. Maybe because I have cameras, I have audios, I have all these crazy things connected today. So where do you change the domain? You go to your settings. And in your settings, you're going to have all of the options that you need to connect your store. So you will have your domain name, your Facebook pixel, your additional code, and everything happens right here. So you go to your settings, right here to the left, then you go to domain, and when you click domain, you're gonna have an option here, but I just remember that I log in with my support. Give me just 1 second. I just log in with my support credentials, and I knew I should have done that. Let me just log out. Let me just log in with my correct credentials. That's probably why it took a little while as well. Let me just do this in a moment. Okay, let me see. I believe these are the right credentials. Perfect. Let's just go to back office. Now we're in the right place. So sorry about that, Mr. Great. But I want to exactly show you where you can do that and how the process works. Because we did it before. We did it, I think, in day 2. But it's always good if you're here for the first time, where we do it. So as I mentioned, you go to settings, and in settings, you just type in, or you just click on the domain area, and in the domain area, you're gonna fill out what your domain want. Any domain that you want, you can connect. Right here, you see, as you see here, this is the name of my store with the subdomain, marketinggrow.groovekart.com, but the domain connected is tijuana.com. So you're gonna have an option to add your domain name here. As you can see, you can select your domain or type it in. And then once you click submit, you're going to have to follow these steps. You have to go into your register. It could be Namecheap, GoDaddy, Netscape, whatever is your domain name register, and change a couple of things. Your DNS addresses or your domain name servers to whichever option it appears here under this blue box. And once you do that, you update your domain name in your register. In 24 to 48 hours, your domain will start pointing to your store. And that's it. It's a very simple process. You just add the domain here, follow the actual installation process within your register, and you're all set. Now, David, do we have any other question?
Yes. So there's a person that is asking from the beginning of the whole training. His name is David Briones. Is there a way to manage UPC, EAN, and ASIN code? It must be different of SKU. Do we have these options inside the Groovekart to have these kinds of codes assigned to a product?
I'm sorry. Let me just try to read that question because I could not really.
So let me show you here. Here's on the screen. Is there a way to manage UPC, EAN, ASIN code? It must be different of SKU.
So if you want to create anything different from the SKU, let's find out, because to tell you the truth, I am not entirely sure.
I'm now looking into Groovekart and I'm searching for this information, but I wasn't able to find it so far.
Yes, I will have to talk to one of our devs to see if we can manipulate that information, because I know that we use SKUs to actually control certain things when we have third-party apps. But it's a great question. I gotta say, it's one of the typical questions that we don't get as much. It's very atypical. So
yeah, it's very advanced.
I will definitely appreciate it if you can send us an email to support@groovedigital.com so we can take a look into, because I believe you're asked that question because you might want to do something with Amazon, because Amazon is one of the companies that actually asks for certain codes. So I might be wrong, but please let me know. That's what we certainly need for you to do. Send us the link. I'm sorry, the email to actually to support.
While we are still in a domain settings, there's another question that is interesting. Can you point a subdomain to Groovekart rather than the main domain, which is on another server? So basically shop.something.com.
I believe you can. With the recent updates, I believe you can, but I will definitely follow through, because this is the process to add just a domain. Maybe a subdomain will require that you add maybe an A record, like right here, right in the bottom. So because you do control your DNS records from here. So maybe if you want it as a subdomain, I believe that adding a DNS record can be accomplished. So for any more specific, please do send us a ticket so we can actually answer for you.
Okay, so you want me to read a couple more questions?
Yeah, if we have more, let's do them. I mean, right now it's 7:32. We're a couple of minutes.
So there's a question from Selena Fisher. How do you update the payment card at the footer?
How do you update the payment card at the footer? So if you want to add maybe different links, or not links, but maybe different icons for the credit cards?
I believe that is for the trust icons, yeah, with the credit cards.
Correct. Let me just access right here. Let me just go back to my apps. Let's just go to the visual builder, and it will load in a second. Let me see, what do I have here? I believe my site is completely off right now, but let me see internally. Yeah, I believe I just have it off, yes, because I've been working on that. So, but let me just take a look at the visual builder. What do we have? My site is not as near as Christine's site. Christine is just so far away from me. It's amazing. I mean, I'm seeing the progress that Christine has put in that Firestone Place website. So it's awesome. But let's take a look. So the way that you change the footer is actually not coming soon, but this is an image, by the way. So I'm sorry, what was the name of the person that asked that question?
That was Selena Fisher.
Selena Fisher. So Selena, the way that you change is, if let's say you have another image that has all the icons. Let's say you have also PayPal, and you also have maybe a different logo for Visa, or you have any other payment methods. This is an image that was included here. So you see, it was just an image that was dropped. You just go to settings and change the image. You just upload a different image. And the way that I always do it, if I'm going to change something within the stores, I always take a look how big the image is. So you can actually open the images in a new tab, so you'll know the actual dimension of the image, so you can have an idea. So this image, if you go to the inspect button right here, it will tell us what is the dimensions really quickly. I believe is 350 by 33, if I'm correct. Actually, let me see, inspect. Oh, it's taking a little longer to do this. It's actually 350 by 53 pixels. So if you want to replace that image just with different icons, just be mindful of the size. So you can maybe just have the Visa logo smaller, the MasterCard logo, and then you can include any other stuff. But that's actually completely up to you. Then again, in that area, you can remove that image and just use icons. You can just drop another element and use the icons as well there. But that's pretty much how you can change that. Because remember, we have the ability to have all the elements that we want here. So if I want to add maybe let's just see another image, or maybe an icon here, I can just grab it and drop the icon, and you'll see that the icon will appear in a moment here, or another image. So all the elements are draggable. So you'll have the ability to do that also in the footer. So the website allows you to do a lot of things, the homepage specifically, and of course the footer. Now we have another question here. It's all Amazon question. Dwight, I believe it was the one that I was kind of just referring to when it comes to the UPC and ASN number. Darcy Hall asked, should we finish the store before pointing the domain if we were almost done with store initial domain setup, because domains can take a while to propagate? This is a great question. And what I will personally do is get my store completely done and then connect the domain. The only thing that I will definitely recommend is once you get your domain done, connected, you check your SEO settings in your products. Why? To make sure that they display correctly for the search engines. And we're going to be talking about that later on in the course, because we do have a very specific day that we talk about Google Analytics and SEO. The search bar and the menu of the default Groovekart setup don't work on cell phone browsers. What can I do? That is an excellent question. I believe there was a fix already for that. But Facebook user that actually made the question at 7:34 p.m., please do send me a ticket. I will definitely take a look at what is the specific name of your store, because I know that that was addressed, but I will definitely take a look and see what's going on.
So maybe I can answer a question here from Michael Ramirez. Hi, John. Could you please go back to where the image is added to the slider, and is it possible to link that image to a product? This is an opportunity to get a free ad right there on the homepage. So this is possible, Michael. I was just typing in an answer to you, and if you want, I can also show it to you. So this is the first time I'm turning on my screen for Groovekart, guys. So woohoo!
Nice. All right, go for it, David.
So this is just a store that I was playing with. I was just testing out a couple of things, but here I pulled in an element of slider. So when you click on it here in this cogwheel, you can come into the settings of the slider. When you set up the slides, you can, for example, I set up one slide for now. When you click on this pencil icon, you can actually add the title and the subtitle of the image. You can upload your image. Somebody previously asked if we can upload a video, so this actually gives you all the variety of media you can upload. It gives you JPEG, GIF or GIF and PNG files, maximum 5 megabytes. But here you can see this little box. This slide has a link, so you can actually add on your link over here, and you can make it open in a new window, same window, and you can also select the type of the link. So it is not only like a URL link, but it can be linked, so your slide can be linked to a product. So in case they click on that slide, it would go to that product itself in case you choose it, for example, from here. You can also send them direct to the category if you want to do that one as well. Just don't don't forget to click update. You can also change different languages at one point when we will have a couple of them. And then basically that is it. You will have your slide over here. And as John gave you the dimension of the slide, just be mindful of putting in the right size of the image. But yes, you can use links.
Awesome, David. That's as you can see, David has been learning that as we go as well. Him and Donna, they're making a great effort to learn more about the products. I've been in contact with Groovekart maybe for the past year and a half, close to 2 years, if not more. So these changes come new for me as well. So we are learning. And this time, Mrs. Christine Case, which has been gracefully giving us the opportunity to use her store. So Christine, right before we close, because right now I just realized it's 7:40, and I appreciate everybody that hangs out all the time. We try to be very mindful of the time. But Christine, so I'm going to just give you maybe a minute or two to talk about those beautiful pieces that you have in the back right there. So go for it.
Okay, well, we have all these jewelry. Everything is $5. So they can go on my Facebook page, on my website, bellagemaccessories.com, or Facebook. And I also have a website that is fabandtrendyjewelry.com, and there are different pieces in different shops. And also these that I have behind me, I do lives during the week, or I go to events and showcase. And we have everything is $5, and there's a set. They come with a pair of earrings, and I also have earrings and bracelets and rings. So I have a variety of things, and I love to have my team grow. So if you would like to help sell jewelry and make some extra income, I'd love to have you. Also, you can reach out to me, and it's at hello. I think you can see it. Hello at Bling Just For Me.
Could you bring over that piece of paper? Is this a piece of paper? Could you maybe show it a bit closer to the camera?
This one?
Yep.
I sure can.
Just so that the people can see it a bit better.
So it is.
Awesome.
It's backwards.
That's
it's
fine.
Hello at blingJustForMe.com and fabandtrendyjewelry.com, or you can go to the bellagemaccessories.com.
Awesome. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you very much, Christine.
I love to hear from
Christine. Thank you very much. Now, David, we have somebody here in our chat here, Margaret Yap. Apparently, we missed the question, so I am going to...
So Margaret had a couple of longer questions. Some of them were not even fit on the basically inside the question box that we can see here in the live stream. So what I wanted to say, Margaret, for your questions, as they are quite long and they require like focus, please reach out to the support team, and then John can answer your ticket there, because it would take a long time for answering them here live. And we want to be mindful of the time, as John said previously. This would take a bit longer, and answering these long kind of questions are probably best done in an email. So sorry about that, Margaret, but as your questions are a bit more detailed, we'll get them answered through an email.
Actually, David, yes. And if you guys allow me, I'm going to just take the time, because she mentioned that we kind of miss it. So I kind of feel bad because we did miss him, not intentionally, because as David said, we try to answer as much as we can. But I'm going to address one of them. The gateway that accepts sales of supplements, we actually have a GroovePay. You can apply at groovepay.com. And David, if you can just drop that in the chat, groovepay.com/apply, you can apply for a merchant account. Be mindful that when you are trying to sell supplements online, you need to have an established business. I don't know a lot about the whole processing situation, but because I'm in contact constantly with customers that want to sell supplements, we are noticing that a lot of the banks and a lot of the financial institutions are requiring certain things for selling supplements. So be really mindful that they're going to ask you for certain things, longevity of the business, merchant account, not merchant accounts, but statements, and all other stuff. MMI, Bank Say Card, we do support Ubiba and MMI. So we do have that already connected. So, but you need to make sure that your merchant ID supports the supplements. We can provide you the store, but we have to make sure also that once you connect your NMI account or GroovePay or whatever it is, that your merchant processing system supports the sale of supplements. I know a couple of names here in this list, like Sandra, that we have in the same situation. So we need to be mindful of the process, but we do support it. Also, yeah, the other question is a little bit more on the upsell description on the product page. So please reach out to me at support@groovedigital.com so we can answer that for you. And David, I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
Just upsell part, most important. Oh, hold on. She just sent me a message that the upsell. So give me just 1 second. Let's see the upsell question. I have customized upsell description in product page, but template description still shows when I check the upsell trial payment processing. How to correct? David, you were right. I will need to check your store. Maybe something that internally needs to be adjusted. So please send me an email and I'll make sure that once I get it, I'll take a look at your store. Just put it to my attention whenever you send the email. So support@groovedigital.com. Attention, John Garcia. So I'll get it right away and I can investigate. Now, guys, I believe we have passed close to 15, 17 minutes. So, yes, thank you guys for everything. Christine, thank you so much. Again, it's been a pleasure. Hopefully next week we're going to just have the same interaction. You're going to be learning more. I hope that you're learning along with us. And I know that store by the end is going to look fantastic. David, thank you very much for always, support us here every Thursday. Unfortunately, as I said, Donna couldn't be with us, but I know she sends her best regards and the love. And let me just working on something here because we got a last question by Darcy Hall. Is there just one support email for everything, or is there special Groovekart technical support? At the moment, we have unified that because unfortunately we had that before. We have support@groovekart.com, support@groovpages, but we decided to unify them because it's easier to detect who has what. So Darcy, it is support@groovedigital.com, and I'll be more than glad to address any question that you might have. Now, with that said, guys, thank you for being with us tonight. Again, we will see you next week on Thursday at 6:30. David, thank you very much. Christine, again, thank you. It's always a pleasure, and we'll see you next week. Have a great one.